What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Figure It Out! Out of the Basement's action figure talk show. Today, we are discussing some downright bad and disappointing Black Series figures. Now, we're usually pretty positive about the line, and there are way more great figures in the line than there are bad figures.
True.
But we thought today, since it's been a while since we've talked about bad/disappointing Black Series figures, that we'd all get them all dug up and get the memories flowing of some real shitty figures.
Yep. To get it right out of the way, we know that Holdo, Rose Tico, horrible figures, nobody wants them. But that's mostly to do with their respective horrible characters.
True.
In their respective films.
Yeah, we're kind of tackling this not necessarily based on their characters, because there's plenty of great characters that we have that we're going to discuss. But whether it's poor articulation, the wrong costume, terrible paint apps, those are the
reason is.
Those are the kind of things that we're going to be discussing in this particular episode. Of course, I'm Nate, and I'm joined with Justin.
What's up, guys?
And if you guys are enjoying Figure It Out, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Ring that bell. Share this video with your friends so we can grow the channel.
We love to grow.
We love growing the channel. All right, so let's start out with one that is a great looking figure on the surface,
but it just pisses me off
to an unreasonable amount. We actually both have this figure in a very similar situation, and of course we're talking about General Grievous. Great looking figure. Looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Really great paint apps.
Not a bad figure.
No.
It's not dog shit, but it's very disappointing. It definitely looks small, especially compared to the battle droids.
Absolutely. Especially when you consider that Grievous is almost always hunched over, especially when you see him in Revenge of the Sith. And when you hunch the figure over, it's even smaller than he should be.
Yeah.
Because he should be massive. He should tower over the battle droids. I believe like the battle droids come up to like his shoulders when he's hunched over.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, I thought the probe droid would be a way smaller figure, so...
True. Yeah, I remember.
I'm sure there's the official scale on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
But I can forgive that I think it's a little small, but the real horrible thing, the horrible issue is that it does not stand up.
Yes.
Doesn't have peg holes. There's nothing you can do.
Propped against a wall for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
He usually will stay up for me for around like 1 to 2 days before he tumbles over and falls off my shelf, and usually takes a few other figures with him.
Right.
So I just have him propped up against the wall now, and I know a lot of you guys out there say that you don't have any problem standing your Grievous. So maybe later releases of Grievous or something, maybe they tightened the joints. But I know both of ours suffer from the same thing. It's that one, I think it's the left leg, where the joint is really strange. It's like the foot goes like this, but it's like pegged into the actual leg like this.
I love the detail, and I love the articulation.
Absolutely.
And I like the cape, and I like the overall look of the figure, but it just doesn't stand.
Yeah, it's really disappointing, especially because you want to get Grievous in some dynamic posing. Of course, we could always get a stand, and I have plenty of stands, but I usually use them for other figures. And that's just really the biggest issue with this Grievous, is that the leg design, I feel like, was really, really poor. At least we could have got some peg holes. At least.
Yep. Now we're moving into the just plain bad or disappointing for X amount of reasons figures. Number 1, Admiral Ackbar. Because A, it's only available in that 2-pack.
Yes.
And B, it's the Resistance design of Admiral Ackbar, and we all know they killed him unceremoniously, just no thought put into it whatsoever.
I mean, he got a better fate than 9 Nub, who died off screen.
True. And
yeah, it doesn't make any sense that we're this deep into the Black Series line. And
they have the mold.
And they have the mold for Admiral Ackbar, but they refuse to just paint it white. That's pretty much all you gotta do is paint it white.
And the white costume is more iconic.
Absolutely.
It's also a meme.
Absolutely.
It's a trap. I mean, it's super iconic.
Yeah.
And stupid that, and I chose not to own this figure because it also just comes with the generic First Order officer.
Yep.
Which I'd rather have an Imperial officer.
Absolutely.
I'd rather have original trilogy Admiral Ackbar.
Yeah, it's dumb. And it was a Toys R Us exclusive at the time. I mean, now it's not. Now I'm pretty sure it's only like $20 on Amazon or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty cheap 2-pack, but at the same time, it's just like, give us the classic Admiral Ackbar. Don't give us this stupid Resistance look. It's just dumb. It's dumb because the mold is already there. I think that's the biggest issue that I have, is that the mold already exists, and all you would literally have to do is paint him white for the most part. There's definitely some sculpting differences in the costume, but
Right.
Another one is all of the Rogue One Shellformers. Your Jyn, your Cassian, your kind of Director Krennic. I mean, Director Krennic's a good figure, but he hung around a little too long. Overstayed his welcome on the shelves. Also, the audacity that Hasbro had to put a highly desirable Death Trooper commander sandwiched in between two more Jins and Cassians.
Yep. Jyn also has that Kmart exclusive when she comes on a pile of dirt.
The big old piece of poop.
And she just looks like a Barbie doll.
Yeah.
Specifically Jyn. And then Cassian is just, I mean, he's a horrible character in Rogue One.
Discount morally gray Han Solo.
Yes, but it's still, because those characters are undesirable. For example, Holdo. I don't really see Holdo all that often. Maybe you do. But everywhere here in the Midwest, Meijer, Walmart, Target, everywhere has Jyn and Cassian, and it's been that way since 2016.
I mean, same thing with Rose. Like, people meme about Rose being a peg warmer, but I really never saw her on the pegs past like the 2017, 2018 when she was released.
Which that's a horrible figure as well.
True.
I mean, right before Photoreal came out, so it's understandable. Just like that Leia, the red and black box Leia, another terrible face. But,
still haven't upgraded that one.
But the Rogue One Shellformers just piss me off.
Yeah.
Because that's all you see anymore.
Even in our last action figure hunting vlog, which you should definitely check out if you haven't, quick plug, we found more Jins and Cassians, and someone had the audacity to do a little accessory swap on a Jin. They couldn't even pay the $4.49 that the Rogue One figures are at our local Meijers.
Even on super clearance, these figures are not selling because nobody wants them. Because they're nothing characters, they're boring characters, but they're also just too many figures.
I have them because I was trying to do my duty as a collector and clear the shelves, but all I did was I bought them and I just instantly threw them in storage. Same thing with the 3-pack. I pulled that out,
pulled the Death
Trooper out, slid it back in, threw it into storage. Now I don't have to think about it anymore.
Usually, Nate, troopers are the best things you can possibly find.
Absolutely.
Army building, but there is what I believe to be one trooper in the Black Series that is a nothing figure and is terrible, horrible figure. No desire, even though I have it. And that is the Resistance Trooper from the red and black box. A lot of these right off the bat are new Disney Star Wars characters, but there are some blue line figures in here as well, so don't get too carried away. The Resistance Trooper is just nothing to it.
Yeah, I don't actually own this figure at all.
Well, apparently there's a variant too. It's like one has a green helmet with like a blue stripe or a yellow stripe, and one is like a brown helmet with a red stripe or something like that. Stupid. The character design is in the frame of the film. One frame. One single frame. Much like the AT-ACT pilot in Rogue One.
It's kind of funny when you think about it, because obviously Star Wars, Resistance versus the First Order, we see all the First Order troopers all the time. But pretty much after that one frame in The Force Awakens, we never see a Resistance trooper ever again. Or at least in that, like, design.
Well, it's something the new trilogy did horribly, was that the Resistance seemed like 5 people. It didn't make any sense.
And then another one that is a figure that we've seen so many times in the Black Series, but this particular release was awful. And we're talking about the Force Awakens Mascara Chewbacca.
Mascara Chewbacca, yeah.
What were they thinking?
The fur is like red,
yeah,
almost. It's like such a light brown, and then the eyes are just so weird.
They're so unbelievably black.
He has like raccoon eyes.
Yeah, and he doesn't even look like that in the movie at all. He looks like normal ass Chewbacca.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Chewbacca body has plenty of problems to begin with. The articulation is definitely outdated, and if you've ever tried to stick a weapon in Chewie's hand, it's always a process.
Yeah.
Because it's so like tightly gripped.
And for me, the bowcaster piece always comes out.
Yeah, true, the blue line one,
Oof.
but the Force Awakens Chewbacca is just so dumb. I don't know how
It just looks stupid.
Yeah, I don't know how they botched Chewie that bad, considering the blue line Chewie, which came out the year before, 2 years before,
Yeah.
looks infinitely better. And I mean, now we have a great Chewbacca, which is the Empire Strikes Back C-3PO 2-pack Chewbacca. Great likeness. I just remember seeing this figure and laughing at it in stores. Like, even when the fever pitch of The Force Awakens was at its high, and I was like, I gotta get everything. I gotta get Rey. I gotta get Poe. I gotta get Kylo Ren. And then I see Chewbacca, and I'm like, I don't have to get this one.
Yep.
Which, speaking of Poe, X-Wing pilot Poe.
Ooh, the Emperor is on this list. He can't sit.
Blue line.
Blue line Emperor.
Blue line.
Blue line.
This Emperor, masterpiece.
Yes, the new Emperor is a masterpiece, but the old one, the head sculpt was there. For the time, I thought it was pretty good, actually.
Absolutely.
Doesn't come with the lightsaber, doesn't come with the throne like the new one does. Even if you did a custom throne, he couldn't sit on it unless you cut away plastic.
That
it was that
stupid
hard plastic robe
on the on his lower body, which they completely fixed with this one because they just said, screw it, we're going to get him all cloth goods, and it worked out so well because at least you can crouch him over and his cane touches the ground. Whereas the other one, you couldn't crouch him over, so he's just holding his cane, and it's like an inch off the ground.
Yeah, and the cane doesn't touch the ground either, and you can't even like hunch him over to have it touch the ground.
Right. It's completely ridiculous, although thankfully we got the masterpiece that is the Amazon exclusive.
And with that old one, if you have the new one, you could pop those hands off, pop a new head on, get yourself a new Emperor.
Yeah, true. Which in that way is pretty cool, and I wish I would have had the original Emperor. But you could literally just buy another Emperor with the throne for less money than the original Emperor goes for to this day.
That is true. So
to this day.
It's only an advantage for the people who already had it.
Right. There's no reason to buy the original one for $50 when you could just get the one with the throne again if you wanted two Emperors for $40. Speaking of some Dark Lords of the Sith, we've got the Return of the Jedi, puppy dog eye, I'm going to go cry myself to sleep, Darth Vader. Now, the underneath head, because this figure features a removable helmet, underneath head, pretty good. Would I still want an updated Return of the Jedi Darth Vader with a removable helmet? Absolutely I do. Absolutely. But this one is just an embarrassment. The helmet
looks horrible.
So unbelievably bad. I don't know how anyone at Hasbro looked at it and went, this is fine.
This is good. And it's Return of the Jedi, but it still has the brownish, reddish eyes.
True.
Which, well.
The eyes were all completely black or like very, 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 very dark red.
Right.
Where like you could only see it when like certain lighting hits the visor.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I like the chain.
Yeah. I mean, the body is good. From the neck down, awesome. Other than that, though, ooh.
So how do you feel about Emperor's Wrath Vader?
I'm a little more forgiving.
I think it's a cool idea because like it shows the skull on the inside, and you can take the hand off, and you can see like the wiring and all that.
Yeah, but at the same time, again, it's literally a full $20 action figure
just for an alternate head.
For an alternate head and a thing that is on screen for about 2 seconds.
which they could have put in the original release. Speaking of things that you did not want to pay $20 for, but I did, and then this figure ended up being really rare and has now had a non-artificial value. ObiWan Kenobi.
True.
Of the blue or orange line. He was in both the orange and then repacked in the blue. I have the blue. Same figure as far as I know. Looks like orange peel slices, and of course, horrible ass head.
Yeah. They didn't even bother giving him like a skin tone. It's just like really shiny plastic. So he looks like greasy ass ObiWan Kenobi. Like he just got off a shift at McDonald's and he was just getting blasted in the face with fryer grease. Yeah. I do regret passing on it so many times back in the day, because now with the clone commander Obi-Wan, you could pop those heads off and give yourself an amazing looking.
Sure, but the skin tone wouldn't match.
Yeah, that is true. But from the neck down, the Obi-Wan's not a horrible figure.
I mean, it just looks like orange slices.
Yeah. But it could be worse, I think. But
we have that amazing photo on our Instagram of the close-up of the face when the eye is just like, it's like a rectangle.
He's looking this way.
Oh my god.
Yeah, terrible figure. But I have to imagine he'll be making a return to the Black Series at some point, because that's a super desirable version of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and now we have the new head. So all Hasbro has to do is take the new head, take the old body, change the skin tone, maybe paint it a little better, maybe give us some butterfly joints, the deep cut elbows.
Now you're talking.
Proper wrist joints for, this instead of this.
Absolutely.
And, if we got that, probably would be a masterpiece figure. Which I would, again, have to imagine at some point in time that figure will be making a return to the Black Series.
I hope so.
Another banger, absolute banger, and by banger I mean...
do you have this figure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I found it at a local used store with Greedo, which was very shocking.
Wow.
And we're talking about, like I mentioned earlier, Slave Leia. A figure that will 110% never be re-released by Disney at all, because for some reason they've got a vendetta against Slave Leia.
Because it's sexual.
I mean, to a certain extent, yes. But it's an iconic, absolutely iconic costume for Leia.
It is.
It's so dumb. And the figure's so bad. It's so small.
Yeah.
She's like literally almost a 3 3/4 inch figure.
Yes, it's definitely one of the smallest 6-inch scale Black Series figures. That isn't like a droid or something.
Yeah. The face is unbelievably bad.
And then it's just a very ugly, the joints. It's just weird. You
Yeah.
see those holes on skin.
Right.
It's like, eh.
You see all the pegs, you see the thigh cuts, everything like that, and it just sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm far away from my Black Series shelf and I look up and I see her poached up underneath Java, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good.
But you get a little closer.
But then you get any closer and you're like, ugh, no.
Yeah, the face sculpt isn't that good either.
Yeah.
Could use a photoreal update that we'll never get.
So those were all of the bad and disappointing Black Series figures we could think of off the top of our head. Yeah. Of course, what are some Black Series figures that you think are bad and or disappointing?
Yeah, I'm sure there's more, but I'm also very curious to hear your guys' opinions, because a lot of people that comment defend Grievous.
Yeah.
And we call him a disappointing figure. So.
That is true. So let us know in the comments down below. Of course, if you have a suggestion for Figure It Out, don't forget we take fan suggestions. Of course, it's got to be about Black Series or NECA, because we really don't collect much else. Well, at least the both of us. I collect plenty of other things, but this is a two-man show. So comment down below if you have an episode suggestion. Of course, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. Ring that bell, share this video with your friends. Of course, I'm Nate. I've been joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And we will see you guys next time on Out of the Basement.